Devin, we also got another expert joining us to discuss the Axis Bank numbers. Shantanu Chakraborty, the expert on banking and finance for which Edelweiss Financial has joined us. Shantanu, thank you very much. Well, I'll come to Bajaj in a minute, but how did the Axis numbers look? Impressive, you think? Shantanu, can you hear us? I think he cannot. Okay, we'll get back to Shantanu in just a minute. Devin, that question to you. Axis Bank numbers, growth was decent and slippages seem to be under control?
Yes, Lata. I think most importantly that I think the company has been trying various means to control the non-performing assets. And probably I think they were successful in this particular quarter, I think, as can be seen. At the same time, I think they have been able to successfully grow the numbers, I think, in this particular period, so which is equally important as far as I think the books are concerned. Maybe for a longer period of time, I think they had to correct their books, and probably I think this quarter is suggesting that I think they have completed that process. Hopefully, I think from the current year onwards, I think they would have a very stable growth coming in. Though I would personally think that I think ICICI has done better compared to Axis. But still, I think from a perspective of seeing the company over the last few quarters, I think they have arrested the fall and probably I think showing the signs of revival and the growth in the coming year, including I think on management of the NPAs.
Okay, so let's stay with banks and now try connecting with Shantanu Chakraborty, head of BFSI Research and Senior Vice President at Edelweiss. Shantanu, if you can hear us now, your take.
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. So your take on Axis Bank, how do the numbers look? And more importantly, looking at the valuations right now, do you see a substantial upside?
Right. So Axis Bank's numbers, if you see, of course, the year-on-year comparison is extremely flattering because we are working off a low base. But the key highlight for us was twofold. Firstly, that, even now, despite the write-offs and despite increasing coverage on its GNPAs, which themselves dropped off partly because of write-offs, the bank is still carrying with itself a buffer of almost 1.94, 1.95% of its assets as excess provisions. And much like the 2.2% that we see in ICICI Bank, we expect that once risk aversion overall goes down over the next, maybe it starts in 1-2 quarters, they will have the occasion to unwind this and boost profits at that point in time. So from the credit cycle point of view, in terms of how much buffer they have, I think they are fairly well positioned. So no major worries there. Another positive that came in from that side was that restructuring amount that Axis declared at about 30 basis points of loans was lower than what the market had expected, clearly. And even collection efficiencies at being at 98%, which is essentially pre-COVID levels, portends well for credit outlook. Now, one of the key uncertainties that people have been talking about in the current wave of COVID relates to similar level of balance sheet concern that people had, let's say, 12 months back. But today we have a defined problem set of what for each of the banks for what can be considered slightly irregular assets. We also know exactly how much provisioning stands against those. So our ability to exactly crystallize how much of the equity, if at all, can be at risk is much improved versus 12 months back. And on that parameter, Axis stands out well. Even if I look at business momentum, across the board strength, SME especially strong. Yes, most of the momentum is towards the top end of the risk curve in terms of, them being low risk. And that shows a little bit in yield dilution. But nevertheless, it's not as if margins have fallen off. Margins have held up.
Okay, Shantanu. Shantanu, I get the drift that you are pretty pleased with the fact that their asset book has come under control. We were discussing Bajaj Finance as well with Devin just before we lost connectivity with you. Bajaj Finance, what are you looking at in terms of their book value? The book value, according to some calculations which our Abhishek Kothari gave us, is for the current year 600. I mean, for the year that was 610 and 737 for the current year. At 737, where growth is so much more subdued, will you really be willing to pay like 6 times book and 7 times book?
Lata, I cannot comment on that.
It's not
I'm
under
not
your
authorized.
coverage?
But Bajaj Finance, yes. I cannot comment on that on an official channel.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Okay, I just want to get that question then to Deven. Deven, it is, you know what, 48.70 or thereabouts, that stock. And if you're only going to get even the current year, you know, 700 and odd, 750 rupees, and look at the growth, it is getting subdued with each passing quarter. You are okay paying such a hefty price, like almost 7 times?
So, Lata, in past, I think Bajaj Finance has commanded this particular premium because of their ability to, I think, continue the growth, I think, at 30% plus rate of cumulative growth that they have produced. I think in the last year, there has been an uncertainty, agreed. In the current year, I think it is starting off a little bit with a promise. The important aspect about, I think, this particular year, and which I would like to experience and witness, I think, is about the digital implementation of different franchises. I think on one side, they are basically putting across different verticals, including, I think, for upselling and cross-selling of the products, which is, according to me, sounding, I think, extremely promising. On the other side, for the collection purpose also, I think they're putting across one of the strong digital vertical, which is basically going to bring down the cost. At the same time, I think make sure that I think collection is probably, I think, done much better. I think on both these fronts, I'm comfortable because on one side, I think you're talking of growing the size of the book. On the other side, I think you're talking of, I think, bringing down the cost. So I think this should be promising. However, this is getting implemented from September. So quite possible that on a quarterly basis, you might not see the reflection of this particular move into the books of the company. But we'll have to keep an eye on it. It is promising. It is likely to show relatively better performance in the second half. But I think at this point of time, you can definitely argue that yes, there is a slight amount of expensive stock as far as I think the premium is concerned. But the probability of, I think, they showing better growth in the current year would remain high, particularly in the second half.
Okay, I got that. Deven, stay on. We have to discuss some other sectors and stocks with you. Shantanu, thank you for that quick call on Axis. We do need to take a break and we'll come back on the other side with the technical experts.